A growing number of adults suffer from depression. In the U.S., findings show many turn to antidepressant medication to manage, and the CDC found between 2015 and 2018, about 13% of adults were taking an antidepressant. An estimate by mail-order pharmacy Express Scripts found that number spiked by over 18% in the beginning of the pandemic. And we're exploring the science of antidepressants and how effective they are. Our next guest is a psychiatrist focused on natural therapies for mood disorders. Joining us now is Dr. Chris Aiken, the founder of the Mood Treatment Center. He's worked with people with depression for over 20 years. So I immediately have to ask you, we've heard about ketamine and psychedelics being used to treat depression, but you're exploring several newer treatments at the Mood Treatment Center. What are they?
Thank you. And we're not doing research or developing new treatments. Rather, what we're really doing is seeing people who did not respond well to antidepressants and finding other ways to help them. So we test anything out that has research behind it. And one that we've come upon that has helped a lot of people has to do with inflammation, which is inflammation is your body's response to infection and illness and injury. A lot of us get inflammation after COVID, for example. So long COVID can kind of feel like depression. So long story short, about 1 in 3 depressions have a strong inflammatory component. Inflammation wears down dopamine in your brain, and that leaves you unmotivated and depressed, like you don't enjoy anything. So we've been exploring, for example, a medication called pramipexole, which enhances dopamine in the brain, and thereby treating this type of depression that a lot of people otherwise aren't getting help from, because all of our antidepressants otherwise mostly work through serotonin and norepinephrine.
Right. Well, I was going to ask, how accessible and affordable really are these treatments? And in particular, it sounds like one that's dealing with the inflammation aspect.
These are mostly generic, so they're medications that we are repurposing or rediscovering to treat this side of depression. But one thing I found is that just treating the end result, the dopamine in the brain, makes people feel better, but it doesn't address the underlying problem of inflammation in the body. And that's where the natural stuff comes in. That to really reduce inflammation in your body, the best ways are aerobic exercise, a Mediterranean-style diet, and stress reduction. So adding those 3 pieces to any treatment is really critical for recovery for a lot of people.
Which leads me really to my bottom line question for you. How can people best tailor a depression treatment plan that really suits them and works for them?
That's a great question. I think they need to be with a good team. Often it's with someone who works with medications and with a therapist who can identify the causes of depression in their life, which often have to do with stress and how they're living their life day to day, and making those changes as they take medication to go along with it. If people want just a quick review of the top things they can do in their life to treat depression, I've listed them all at moodtreatmentcenter.com/lifestyle. There's about a dozen that we have good evidence change the brain and change your mood. Just like medication, these physical things you do in your life do change the brain as well.
Well, Dr. Chris Aiken, we appreciate you coming on The Why and walking us through some of those other options that you don't hear much about when it comes to this topic. So we appreciate it.
Bye-bye.